Debbie Romero is your host today on Transcend with Debbie and can be found on all platforms. She's a renowned international evidential psychic medium, Reiki master, Munike certified, and empowerment teacher who is holding space to bring awareness with other like-minded souls as we raise the vibration collectively for humanity with awareness, inspiration, love, compassion, and healing. Now your host, Debbie Romero.
Welcome to Transcend with Debbie. Wow, it's Wednesday already, and look who I have right next to me. Like, check this out. It's Mr. David Hale. Hi,
Hello.
my friend.
Hello.
It's such an honor to have you here as a guest. I've had the honor to work with you before and watch you do some magical stuff for Spirit, and I'm just really excited to flow together and have you here for the community and for Spirit. Lots of people saying hello already. We have Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn. Can you see the comments, Mr. David, on the right side?
I can.
All right, perfect. You want to give some hellos and little shout outs if you don't mind?
Yeah, let's say hello to, I've got two of my followers are here, I can see them. So I've got Caroline May Sandbrooks, hello my darling, and Cheryl Flint as well. So they're two of my beautiful followers, and I do some development work with them as well. So hello ladies, thanks for joining.
So nice to have you. And Mr. Eddie's here. I love Carolyn. She's amazing. Erica, Neva, thank you so much for being here. Isabel, thank you so much for being here. I know we're flowing on Derek Akora's page. We're also on Things Network, Sacred Spiral. So please don't forget to share. Don't forget to send the likes and give the hearts, y'all. We love hearts. We love the likes. David, for those who don't know you, what would you like the world to know a little bit about you?
Selling myself is not always my strongest point, but so I am based in the UK, in case you couldn't tell by my accent. I work I call myself more of a spiritual medium in the UK. I recently, in the last year, I've started to go out into spiritualist churches and centres doing divine services and demonstrations of mediumship. I'm going into my 8th year of doing this work. So yeah, but I'm enjoying it, and every day is a different day. And over the past few years, I've started doing different things, and I can see where Spirit are trying to take me as well. So anyone that's on this journey also knows that it is a journey. It's an ever developing, ever evolving journey. So yeah, so lots of things coming up and little different changes in the works as well. So yeah, I also have a book called Coming Down to Earth.
That's right.
That's on Amazon. That's about spiritual development, and also have my own podcast as well, which is called Coming Down to Earth with Spirit. Right. So yeah, there you go. I think that's it.
That's not just it. That's like a whole pocket full of like sprinkles of love of Spirit and David Hale. Like, what inspired you to create your book?
Spirit, because I never in a million years did I think I'd write a book, because as a kid, although I could read, but it's reading never really caught my attention. I'd always be out doing something else, whether it be doing my gymnastics or I'd be out dancing. I'm doing other bits and pieces where I couldn't really sit down and read a book. So I didn't think in a million years I'd write one. Then it wasn't until my nan she passed in 2018 that following her passing, I kept being told in my head from Spirit, write a book. Now I tried to push it away, thinking, is that just me? Until I kind of leaned into it and went, oh, actually, someone's trying to tell me something. And so I just went with that inspiration. I thought, okay, so start writing the book.
But that's how it happens. And when that happens, it's very profound, because you're getting the messages and you're getting the ideas and the inspiration, and you're just like, whoa, it just starts to flood in when it's really, and when you really know, it really does flood in. I know for myself, I had an experience, a very personal experience, and I'll never forget it. I started getting names of the people that I needed to work with, invite these people, and it was really Spirit led. And when you say that Spirit leads you, They really do.
Hmm.
Once a message is wanting to be shared, or the inspiration is going to be shared, it's coming from spirit world to you, onto the paper, to the person who's going to fill into that energy of spirit. And so there is magic in that work when you're unfolding and when you're creating. And that's not just in a book, but that's just
Mm.
speaking about spirit, talking about spirit, creating with spirit, whether it's artwork, whether it's, you're in your passion of being a teacher, a hairstylist, everyone who's flowing and just existing and being, you're in that divine truth and alignment
Yeah,
of love. It's so beautiful. So I really know what that feels like when you say that. It's so remarkable that you listened.
I did.
Because how many times do we get that and we don't listen?
I know. So I've learned to do as I'm told.
Right. I think what happens is, though, too, it's like we know it, and so then spirit comes back and they're like, hello, you're supposed to be writing a book. How many times have we as mediums told people, oh, you have a book to write? Or, oh, and they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, here, you write. So I remember that, but it's about dedicating some time aside, really
Hmm.
dedicating and getting a schedule together to do and create. It that doesn't that part spirit forgot. Like, come on, spirit, make the
Yeah.
time so that can happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Free up my diary, please.
yeah, can you? I free from this week. What we gonna do today? but
Yeah.
but you're so authentic too, and I love just your humor, your laughter, the joy that really flows through you. For those who know you and know how you work, you just be rocking it. And when you're first starting out
Mm.
as a spiritualist medium, I know you've trained with many different people, and then you start to come into your own self. Can you share a little bit about your journey, about what that feels like from going from structure to saying, let me be David?
It was scary, I think, and but it still is.
Yeah.
Before I step foot on a platform, I'm still like, "Ooh, what am I doing here?" Um, but I think it's needed because for me personally, I sat in a development circle in a church, right? And you do the training, you work with the same people week in and week out. And when you're reading for the same people, for me at least, I didn't feel it was stretching my ability, but I'm quite impatient. I want to learn everything yesterday, right?
Right.
Um, but I just took the decision to, I need to step out of that and practiced on other people and step outside the comfort zone. It was very, very scary because I was still very new to it, but I knew for me, I needed to stretch my own ability and just be myself.
Right.
And I think that's important to say is because you can get caught up in the whole you got to be do this or say this to be spiritual. My
Right.
saying is I always say I'm a medium, not a saint, right? So
Right.
I don't I've never conformed to things anyway, but I don't conform to having to be this particular type of person to fit into a certain spiritual clique or a spiritual club. I'm not bothered
Right.
about that because this work isn't about me. This is about just using me as a channel. And I've never faked anything. The only fake thing about me are my eyebrows, right? I've penciled them I've penciled them
Nice.
in.
Hey, I be shading mine in too, y'all. So I ain't gonna play. But go ahead with your bad self, Mr. David. Go ahead.
And so I can't be fake. I'm not that person. I have
Right.
to be myself. And when I'm reading, especially now doing platform work, if I was to get on a platform and pretend to be, this very serious and very holier than thou spiritual person, it ain't going to work for me because spirit don't work with me like that. They work with me with my personality, and they know that if I'm in a really good mood that day, if I bring levity to it, my connection to spirit is so much better. I know that if I'm tired or exhausted or just feeling a bit low, I find it really hard. I'm fine that's like walking through treacle trying to get that connection. But if I push that aside and go, no, come on, we know what we're doing. I know who I am. Let's bring that joy in. Spirit are like, right, bring it in. And at the end of the day, we're not meant to be spiritual robots because
Right.
spirit work with us through our personality, through our character. And if we were
Right.
all the same, then mediumship would be so boring.
Right.
You have to be yourself and allow that levity to come through. Because at the end of the day, and I've sat in mediumship demonstrations where there's been a medium on, and I've been bored to tears because there's no, it's like it's taken too serious, and
Right.
there's no levity with it. And being part of an audience myself before I even did this work, I like the laughter. I like the joviality sometimes that some mediums can bring because it catches your attention. You know,
Right.
I'm not sat there looking at the watch going, isn't it over yet? No, I want to be excited by it. And you know when it's a good demonstration, when the time just flies. You think,
Right.
where's that hour gone, that hour and a half gone? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to be yourself and not conform or feel like you need to conform to what people tell you a spiritual person should be, because half those people that are telling you that are not doing what they're preaching. So,
Right.
you know, from my
Right.
experience.
I agree. I think the energy is important to have that fired up, and the frequency of the flow of just paying attention to the audience, looking at the audience. My girl Callie, the producer in the back, she's like, "Okay, Debbie, like we're going to go ahead and we're going to vibe. You got this, you got that," and it requires the energy of two. You know, when you're working with others, to hold space and
Yeah,
contain that, especially in person, it's so different. And so you're really feeling into, okay, I'm going this way, or I'm going to go that way. Where are my feet facing? You know, what direction am I going? And then it's like you're catching the attention of the audience already, and so you're already being led by spirit. Oh yeah, I'm coming to you after. Ooh, I got chills just saying that. But
yeah.
you know,
And and also when you're on a platform, you've got God knows how many people looking at you. So when
right,
you are connecting to one person, you've also got to be able to keep the attention of everybody else in the audience who's not getting a reading at that time.
right,
So you need to have that. Otherwise, and again, I've seen it when the medium is giving a reading to someone, everyone else zones out because they don't feel like they're being included.
right.
So you have to bring in that energy, as you say,
Mm-hmm.
and that character and that personality to also keep other people engaged, although they're not being read for.
I love that you keep using the word the personality and the characteristics. So a lot of times what people don't understand is that when we are bringing forward the essence of a soul discarnate of your loved one, there is a personality. There is a
Yes.
characteristic that comes forward with the energy. And, you know, so when we're saying, oh my God, he was funny, like he would go to David because David can talk some jokes and he can go in there and he'd be like, oh man, I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, that's how we roll. And so, you know, my granddad will come to you because my granddad will be like, oh, let me pull a quarter out of your ear, or here's some cards and let me show you a magic trick, because that characteristic of his personality is going to be like, I like him. And that's why it's important that we still be ourselves.
And that's it, because your spirit family do not change their personality. They take their character and personality with them. So I'm
Right.
very conscious of when I'm communicating with spirit that I bring through their essence, I bring through their
Mm-hmm.
character, because if that's what you know, I can give you evidence all day long, but it's the character and the personality of that loved one, the spirit, and you go, that's them, because
Right.
that is their personality. And
Right.
if we don't use our personality, if we don't open ourselves up to that, I feel
Mm-hmm.
we just restrict ourselves. Whereas if we just open up, we say, Spirit, come on, and we're carefree, use my personality, then those
Right.
readings are going to come through a lot better, a lot clearer, so people can feel that their loved one's in the room as you're
I agree.
communicating.
You know, I find that we're kind of going into the power of platform mediumship here, and we're talking about how we as individuals are holding the space for spirit to come through. I always, when I'm in a gallery or a dam, if I need a second to regroup with the energy, you'll find me say, hey, is it okay if I work with you? How are you doing today? You're building the rapport, you're getting the permission and the trust of the sitter, of the person who's waiting for that loved one to step forward, because they're waiting for that loving, healing message. And so there's that grace that comes in, there's that laughter and that love. And so for a lot of those that are in here that are mediums and that are stepping into the platform demonstration, these are things that we also work with. Hey, David, how are you doing today? Is it okay if I work with you? Like, oh, let me see what's up. All right, I know your grandfather's here and you have a father in spirit and he's giggling just because you're giggling and he's like showing me the little pole, because that's how quick the conversation happens, right? And it's just like all of a sudden you're trusting me. You're like, look at Debbie being silly. Look at that. She knows this, But what you can take from this, everyone that's listening, really just be yourself. Laughter is infectious, exactly, Rachel. The laughter, the joy, continuing to remember them when they're in their happier, joyous days. That's what they want us to bring forward. Those memories, those essence of those moments, because we aren't in those moments. And so that energy coming from spirit world is bringing that vibrancy back to us. What do you find happening to you when you're in platform and you're in the flow and you're working? Like, what would you like the audience to know on how you work and how you connect and how you're flowing and what they can take from working in demonstration?
Well, firstly, it's important to note that before any demonstration I do, I sit there and I go, what am I doing here? And I get nervous. That's a normal thing. I think, why am I doing this to myself this evening? So nerves are good, right? So what I try to do is when I'm feeling a bit nervous is that I try to turn those sickly nerves into excited nerves and think about, oh, what's going to happen this evening? What's going to happen tonight? What information is going to come through? So that's one key thing I try and do, is that if I am nervous, I go, right, let's get excited about the nerves instead, because you can use the energy and that helps me to link in. So when I think the thing is, I think once you stand up onto the platform, once you start talking and get your first link out the way, the rest of it flows in. So when you start talking, once you start building that link, information comes in and it flows as you said. And then okay, I've done that one link. I'm going to do another one now. And you've just done one. So there's no reason why I can't do another one. But I think for me, and I think other people may agree with your demonstrating medium, is that when I'm reading, my logical brain goes out the window. So I'm not consciously thinking about anything once I've started a platform, that's it, I've started. My logical brain does not engage. So I don't really have time on the platform to stop and think about, oh, what do I do next? And what's coming in now? I don't, because my mind is now in the spirit world. So whatever comes in next is coming from spirit. And that's also a tip I'd say to people. So know when you first start doing this work, that you do think, oh God, how am I going to do this? What if they don't show up? And how does that? So what I would say is, once you're about to get onto the platform, or maybe 5 minutes before, or what have you, you set your intention that, okay, I've got 5 minutes. From this moment onwards, whatever drops into my mind is now from spirit. Anything else is not going to come in. So if you're sat there 5 minutes before and you start feeling a lady, for example, don't talk yourself out of it. You say, right, I know it's coming from spirit, because I've already said to them, from this point onward, whatever you drop in my mind, I know is from you. And then you can take that onto the platform and you go with it. Apart from that, I don't really have any other kind of rituals or anything else like that. It's more that once you start that first link and you get it going, the next link will come, you finish that one, the next link will come and you'll finish that one. So once you get in your flow, that's it. And I saw something the other day somewhere, I think it was on Facebook, someone said, once you get on that platform and start, you can't get off it now.
Right.
You've got to get on with it.
But
that's it.
That's the truth in everything. You make an intent to move forward, you're going to move forward. You make an intent to make a change, you're going to make a change. So it's where your heart and your mind and spirit is led. You chose to stand up there and be a service, and boy, are they going to use you to be a service. So, honoring the path of a spiritualist medium, David, I can say you truly are walking the walk. And so for those that are following David, if you're not following him, give him a follow. Check him out on his podcast. He has some amazing podcast shows on there. He talks about things that where it's real. He's keeping it real. He's talking about his experiences. Well, I do it this way. I know this is what's being done, but let me think about it this way and try it this way. So he'll have you come out of the box. So trust that. Let's do some readings, y'all. Like, let's dive in and show Spirit that we're here to shine for them and for you guys so we can rock it. Anybody have questions for David, please feel free to ask.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're from too. Yeah. Like, y'all, tell us where you're from. Say some hellos. Let's say what's up. I'm in my podcast office right now. We got a walkathon going. So today is National Walk Day. So if you hear people going, woo, woo, that's because we in the woo, woo headquarters right now. So we're going to be firing it up in a little bit. So this is Keeping It Real. Essex in the house. South Wales in the house. Hey, Maria, what's up? I love that. David is amazing. Nice to meet you, Debbie. It's awesome. Okay, Mr. David, go ahead from Yorkshire. Look at all these beautiful souls just in here for you. I'm going to pass the mic to you, my friend.
I know. Where do I go? What do I do? Let me have a look. But yes, guys, if you have questions as well, please do ask, because Debbie and I also like to educate as well. And it comes from a place of realness, I will say, right? It's just being honest with it. I don't do any airy-fairy stuff, right? It's just, I say it as I see it from my experience, at least, right?
Most definitely.
So let's let me see. I was drawn. Okay. I feel I want to go to Samantha John, actually.
Yeah.
So I just feel pulled there. So Samantha, I've got these are my affirmation cards, right? And I designed these. So these are mine. These are my words.
Woo!
They're quite straightforward and direct. So they kind of do what they say on the tin. So, but sometimes they'll let me link in psychically as well. But let me see. So the affirmation cards are not psychic. They're more just words for you to take and go, right, do you know what? I'm going to use that for this week or today or what have you. So let me see. Samantha John. Bless your heart, going through a breakup. Right. Okay. Bear with me. Great. I'm going to have that card there. Oh, okay. So Samantha, thanks for saying you're going through a breakup, and bless you, my darling, because they're never easy. But the affirmation card, I will pull another card for you as well in a minute, actually. But the affirmation card I've got for you is, I promise to show kindness and compassion to myself. So whilst you're going through, do you know what? Okay, this is what happens. I get random things put in my head. I feel a lot of self-blame here, actually, Samantha, and a lot of, I don't know if I want to use the word guilt with it as well, and the questioning of, what did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I act wrong? Did I not do enough? Did I not do this? Did I not do that? And I feel that's why this card has come out, is to say, please get rid of that, because it's not your fault. No, breakups happen, but at the same time, I don't want you to sit there pondering on, could I have done this differently? Could I have said that? Is it my fault? And a lot of those blame things are going on. So do take what this card says. I promise to show kindness and compassion to myself, to allow yourself to heal. So what I'm also going to do is pull a chakra card as well, right? And let's see what the chakra card has got to say along with that very quickly. Okay, I think I want that one. All right, I do want that one. So Samantha, I've also got this card here. It's a green card which talks about perception. So it's about, again, I don't necessarily want to go with the word, but the card itself being a green card, that's healing for me. So my healing color is a green, right? So that's the healing coming in for this. But it's maybe looking at things differently, all right? I think sometimes when we're looking at something the same way over and over and over again, it doesn't change the outcome of it or how we see it. So I think sometimes it's about going, actually, let me look at this a different way, and you might see a different, I don't want to say different outcome, but you might see a different way of dealing with it, or a different way of looking at it that doesn't seem so bad, if that makes sense. But what I want to do is just, I keep getting the word empowerment put in my head, so I'm going to give that to you as well. Because I want to give you some empowerment here as well, Samantha. And there's an issue here with confidence as well with you. I've got to say to you, is find that confidence and don't allow anyone to knock that out of you. And again, it comes back to showing that kindness and compassion to yourself. So I'm going to leave that there with you.
Beautiful, David. I was pulling a card as you pulled cards, and I just got the mirrored souls. So that's kind of like what exists within you exists within the other person. So it's almost kind of like that twin flame, that kind of soul connection there. And so it's allowing you to heal the heart. So look at the spiral within the heart as it brings in the light of what comes out of your heart. It's healing. So it's very purifying. And so as I look at this, the next card underneath it just says free your spirit. And so there's freedom in letting go, and there's freedom in really honoring your authentic self and your truth. If something didn't feel right, you're honoring the shadow side, the shadow self. And that's more healing, working with the confidence, working with that you deserve more. So whatever was being brought to the surface to make you look at, I don't want this in my life, honor those feelings and make the changes so that you can bring in what you do want. So beautiful job, David. I love your cards. Our heart goes to you, Miss Samantha, sending you so much love. I'm going to pass the mic back to my friend, Mr. David. Go ahead, David.
Oh, let me see. Excuse me. Where I just saw. Let me come. Oh, where's it gone? Where has it gone? Oh, hang on. I was just say Samantha just said everything that was said. David and Debbie was bang on and made complete sense for me. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, Samantha. Look after yourself. Look after yourself. I did see. I think I want to go to Elmarie Wheeler from South Africa. I feel like I want to go there. So I'm going through a very rough time at work. I do give my best, but it seems not good enough for management. Okay, all right. Now, I will have a before I go into anything, I'm going to give a caveat of that I will never tell anybody what to do, and neither will spirit, right? Because we have free will as humans, and we have to use that free will to make certain decisions within our life. But Elle Marie, my feeling without even pulling anything here, I want to. What's the word I want to use? Disassociate. Don't know. That's a bit of a strong term, but I'm going to use it. I feel like I want to separate you from that workplace. So whether that means going to a different department or going to find another job, because I feel that the situation that you're in with that workplace, it makes me feel like it's affecting your mental health. I don't feel good about it. That's just being perfectly honest, right? And I also feel like you're not sleeping properly because of it. I feel there are sleepless nights. Your mind is going round and round and round. I feel there's a sense of, Elmarie, I've got heart palpitations all of a sudden. So I feel like there's some anxiety with this. It might sound obvious because you're going through a rough time, as you said, but I feel like my heart is going 10 to the dozen. It's almost like I'm waking up in the morning and I'm dreading going to work, or I'm waking up thinking, how am I going to get through today? But there's a slight sense of panic with it, is my feeling. I don't want to go as strong as saying panic attacks, but I feel like there's a lot of anxiety with this. I can feel it all up in my chest. And I do feel that you are trying to rack your brains about what can you do better to please these people. And I want to say to you that my mind's been taken to one of my cards actually, that your best is always good enough. As long as you're doing your best, then you're not letting anyone down, right? And there's a card in my pack which says the same thing. And it's almost like, as long as you're doing your best, if I link it to the spirit world, you're not letting the spirit world down, you're not letting yourself down, because you're doing what you can do within that, that scenario, right? So I do feel there's a lack of appreciation here. So what I want to say to you is, I just pulled a couple of cards here just to represent what I'm talking about here. I do feel like, now again, whether you do it or not, it's completely up to you, but I do feel a sense of starting to put the feelers out there to start to see what else is about. I'm not saying jump ship and just leave, because no, we've got to pay bills, right? But it's being smart about it and just putting those feelers out to see what else is out there that you can do, where I feel I want to say where your skills are actually being utilized, because I don't feel they are at the minute. I just feel like you're doing stuff that actually doesn't necessarily utilize your talents and your skills within that workplace, and you're still not being recognized for it anyway. So that's kind of the guidance I want to give, is to start just having a look, just to see what's out there. Again, it's not about, just jumping ship and saying I'm leaving. It's just being smart about it and seeing what else is going to come up.
Right.
And I feel, Elmarie, I want to leave that there with you.
Beautiful. Sending you so much love. And she was like, you were spot on with that. I was going to my activation oracle deck when you were reading that. I kind of went towards the right to look at it. And it's an evolutionary downloads, a recalling power. So it's future thinking. So it goes spot on with what you're saying. Think about what you want and get those downloads and go into that power and sit in that energy. Look how vibrant, and it's the Arcturian light codes is what's coming through. So if we're activating that and we're asking spirit to step forward into that solar plex, into that heart, into that throat, because when you were speaking, David, my throat was getting tightened and my chest was getting a little tightened, and I was just like, whoa, I can feel what you were feeling and what she was feeling. And so my loves, use your voice. If you're not speaking it, write it out on a journal, get it on paper, get it out of the body, move the body, go in some way to find a way to release that. You'll be able to move the energy so that we can bring in the new energy for you. So lots of love to you, sweetheart, and keeping you in the most highest regards. So good job, David. Where do you see yourself going next, friend? So I can't hear you, David.
So I put my mic on to sneeze and then take it off again.
Oh, spirit of truth. That's what's up.
They're testing me. Right, where was I going? I feel, where am I going? Where is she gone? Where's she gone? I think it was Valerie
Yes.
Rother, I think it was, that I saw there.
Oh, I love that we are aligned. She caught my attention too.
Okay, Valerie. Look, as I'm saying Valerie's name, I've got the abundance of green coming in again. So I know I've just mentioned about the green, but green really is my healing color. So I know that when the green comes in, this is overall healing, because I can have different colors for different parts of the body I want to heal. But the green's coming in, especially for the heartbreak related to her husband's passing. So I know there's a lot of healing needed here. I feel, Valerie, what I want to say is, I want to say to you, give yourself time. And I don't know why I need to say that. It's just what I'm being impressed to say. So I don't know if you are in your head quite a lot thinking, when am I going to feel better? When am I going to feel like I'm over this, or what have you? Or whether people have said to you, is it not time, you get over it or whatever? And there's things I want to say to those people, which I can't repeat on here. But because people will say silly things like that, because you can't put a time on grief. You can't put a time on, you must be over this then. You must deal with it this way. You must deal with it that way. There is no right or wrong way to do that. What I always say to people is, when you're going through grief, just be good to yourself whilst you're doing it. Because there are people who will neglect themselves. They will neglect eating, they will not sleep properly, they will keep the curtains shut, they will not go out.
Right.
And it's not suggesting that you do all this, Valerie. You might do some of it, I don't know, but it's saying to you to do the opposite of that, to make sure you look after yourself, make sure you eat, make sure you get your sleep and whatever else, right? So I want to say that to you is be good to yourself and don't be rushing yourself or be forced into rushing, getting over that grief, because some people grieve their loved ones for the rest of their life, right? So you
Right.
can't put time on those things. What I want to say though, I don't know if I've got him coming in. I don't know if he was a tactile man or not, but I feel like I'm stood behind Valerie and putting my arms over her shoulders. So I'm not cuddling her from the front, I'm doing it from the back. But I just want to stand behind her and so my feeling is he would have been taller than Valerie as well, because I feel like I'm going over her. That's what I'm just seeing in my head. So Valerie, if you are able to validate that, then do just let me know. I will do a chakra card for you, Valerie, as well, if you're still watching. I'm not seeing your comments come up, but I'm assuming that you are. I'm just going to do a chakra card here. Okay. Isn't that funny? I've got this card to come out, and it's got raspberries on it. So it's like that, eating properly, getting those nutrients in. I want to say, Valerie, as well, make sure you are keeping yourself grounded. You are going out, you're going for a walk, you're getting those nutrients in, you're eating properly, you're drinking lots of water. I've got to put that in my head as well, drinking lots of water. No, we're the same height. Well, that's fine. If I've seen that incorrectly, that's all right. But make sure that's what you're doing, looking after yourself, keep yourself grounded, allowing yourself to take that. What's quite powerful is, what do I want to say? It's that healing energy that you get from the earth, right? They go outside, hug a tree, whatever you want to do. It's really getting that grounding, because that will give you that strength, stability, and that healing from Mother Earth as well. So it really, I just want to say, it's not necessarily a future reading. It's more about the guidance around making sure that you are looking after yourself and not neglecting yourself. I think that's where I want to leave that for now.
Yeah, grief is really hard, and I feel like, as you said, we never really quite get over it. But if we can take the steps to start to feel better, it's a hard process. So sending you so much love, Valerie. I was definitely feeling into her essence before we started too, and she was saying she had just had a loss, and I could feel my hugs coming from behind David when you were rocking it. So let me see if I can go in here and see where we go. And please listen, David, so you can also chime in as well. Okay. So Eddie, blessings to Valerie is what he's saying. Thank you so very much. So those that are in here, please again, let's see who's still here. Valerie says, thank you, David. If you can just come say hello, I'm here. And then I know who's still in the house because people come in and out. So Pia, thank you so much for being here. Karen, thank you so much for being here. Jamie, thank you for being here. Erica, thank you for being here. Jody Knight, I want to come to you. In my awareness, I just feel a gentleman stepping forward. Immediately in my awareness, I get the sense that this person would have either coughed or would have had like clearing their throat. Like it's like when he spoke, it was like everyone listened. I feel like this person would come in a very nice suit. I feel he would have had light color eyes, very light skin. At some point, he would have had some gray hair as well, if you would understand this. If I come, yes, me and my family, please. Jody, yes. And if you would understand this, a yes and a nose and I don't know. I do feel when this person comes forward, my legs all of a sudden get very weak. So I know at some point in my journey with him, I would have helped your granddad. Thank you. If I come to you and I'm working with you, I feel like, there's this picture of him holding onto the kids. Like he's sitting in this cream couch. I feel like he's holding a boy and a girl in his hands. Fireplaces on the side. I literally see a shelf where all the family portraits are. There's a white wall, whether this is the fireplace is white, but he's showing me like the home, like the love of the home and the children. If you would understand this, Jody Knight is who I'm working with here. I feel like an acknowledgement of father is coming forward. So if either there's a connection here, I just want to give like an awareness, a connection here to father as well, if you would understand this. Yes, that's his home. Thank you so kindly. So he is showing me in this awareness, like look for the birds. So I know birds are very significant, but he makes me feel also too. Did you see that, David? Did you like? Yeah. So you have.
I saw before you said the fireplace. I saw a fireplace in my head, and I saw
Yeah.
like this, like an image of a dove or something on a wall.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And so the dove for me is a symbolic
okay, my father
symbol.
found it by the fireplace. I knew the
Oh, God
fireplace was important.
bless you. Oh, God bless you. Phew. And so I know, like, when I feel into this, there's an acknowledgement of dad and just letting the energy. It's making me feel like all is well, all is well. I also know too that the dove is like, for me, it's also signifies spirit, faith. And I just feel like whatever emotions you're currently going through at this moment, please know that spirit is stepping forward. Say a respect to you for the care that you're doing for your family, for your mother, for your family. I just get the sense now it's time for you to step out into your power to do something that feels right for you, because you also deserve that same love that you gave out. And so I feel like today's topic is around self-care, it's around self-love, and still honoring our grief and our healing stage. And so spirit is coming in to give you that push to say, you go, girl, you got this. And so I'm going to leave you with their love. I thank you so kindly for just letting me hold space for you for that brief moment. And go ahead, Mr. David, if you want to add to that, baby, because I know you were getting pieces here and there. So I'm going to sit back while you roll.
Yeah, because what I was so I was seeing that fireplace. I get again fireplace in my head, so we know that link's there already. I feel I want to say with the bird that I saw a dove. Now, symbolically to me, when I see a dove, I know it's always spirit's way of saying I am at peace. Now, to be clear, when our spirit family go to the spirit world, or I love them to go to the spirit world, they are at peace. But if I'm shown a dove, for example, it's spirit's way of saying that the person they're coming to needs to know that they are at peace because of the way they were found or the way they passed or what have you. It's your granddad saying, look, no matter how much no matter how I died or how I was found or whatever, please know that I am at peace. So I feel that's what the message is there with the fireplace. Now, with regards to you and the family, you said, I just want to say with that I don't feel anything terrible of anything here at all. I just feel like communication and keeping that togetherness within the family is really important. I also want to say with that is to keep your loved ones close is what I want to say. And that could just be about staying in the energy of love and of positivity. Jodie, I want to say keep away from the drama. You don't need any naysayers. You don't need any negativity. Keep that away. And as Debbie said a minute ago, is about that self-care, that self-love, and being conscious of whose energy you associate with, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to. I feel I want to leave it there. So you've got a bit of a two-piece there. You've got the spirit side and you've got the psychic side slightly coming in there as well. So I hope
Mm-hmm.
that does help, my darling.
Mm-hmm. Lots of love to you. And so, David, where can you be found?
I can be found in many places. No, right?
Yes. Follow the yellow brick road. Dun, dun, dun. Follow the yellow brick road.
I get about a bit. So I can be found on most social media platforms. So you can find me on Facebook under David H Spiritual Medium. I'm on Instagram, same David H _ spiritual _ medium, and on my website, which is www.davidhmedium.co.uk. I'm also on YouTube as well as David H Spiritual Medium. My podcast as well, which is Coming Down to Earth with Spirits, on most podcast platforms. I think that's about it.
Well, that's a lot. So if you guys follow my friend David, he's also on SPTV. And so he's on Fortnite. Hello.
Completely forgot about that.
Richard, calling Richard. So he is kind of doing quite a bit. So you guys can find him on all different platforms. You would not be disappointed. And if he's doing a church demonstration, you will want to join that. Like, you don't want to miss out on that. I've had some readings with David. Phenomenal stuff. Evidential proof is just on point. David, will you close us with a collective card for all of us, if you don't mind?
A collective card, yes. Oh, well, I'm going to do my affirmation card,
Yeah.
actually.
Hey, can
I'm
people
gonna
buy
do
them?
that.
Are you selling them?
No, not at the moment.
Okay.
I got them a couple of years ago, just to use on lives and things like that. People have
Mhm.
asked about buying them, so it's something I'm considering.
Yes,
But it's just getting the best deal to get them printed, right? Because they ain't cheap. So
that's right.
that's it. So I've got to pay my bills.
That's what's
Um,
up. Let's help David pay his bills, y'all.
yes,
Affirmation
thank you.
cards on the
Affirmation
wall.
card.
Let's go.
So this one, the affirmation cards are divided into two parts. So you've got the gold cards, which are the more psychic, based on our psychic side of our life, and then I have the rose gold, I call it, which is the message from spirit. So this one is for people. This is a psychic one. So this is to do with you and your life, right, people? So this is what's come out. So the card says, and they're quite straightforward, as I say, I deserve the pat on the back I'm about to give myself. So this is about self-empowerment. This is about sometimes recognizing what you've achieved or where you've come from. And I feel there's so much in the spiritual community about, oh, we can't say that because it sounds egoic. And it's not about, this is not about the ego. This is about recognizing, actually, do you know what? I've worked, I nearly swore then, but I've worked really, I've worked really hard for this. I've
Yes,
worked really hard for that.
that's right.
And actually, I need to give myself a pat on the back to recognize what I've
Right.
done, where I've come from, because as humans, we're on this constant hamster wheel of life, keep going and going and going and going and going. We don't take that moment to step off and go, well, what did I just go through? What did I just achieve? And it's not just about, well, I've become stronger, because that can mean a multiple of things. It's actually looking at what you're doing, what you've done, and recognizing, you know, I've worked hard for that and I've done that. No one else has done it for me. I've done it. So take
Right.
those words. I deserve the pat on the back I'm about to give
Mhm.
myself.
That's right. So when you say that, all of us just pat your back, like, hey,
Just
I'm proud
pat
of
your
you.
back.
Pat your back. I am proud of each and every one of you for taking time to showing up for spirit, for yourself. And just, when we're coming together in this way, the energy is we're all really holding that link for spirit to come closer. So just know, as you continue your day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, you are divinely in the path and energy and frequency of love of spirit. David, you couldn't have said it any more beautiful. I just thank you for being a guest on Transcend with Debbie. All of you guys will see you next Wednesday. Thank you, Kelly Brickle. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to heart. And thank you to Derek Akora's page, Things Network, WLTKDV, and everywhere else on Sacred Spiral. Much love. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. All right. Bye.